Not all SCPs stay contained forever. This is the tier list ranking SCPs by their escape potential. The tiers are defined as follows. D. Passive, only dangerous if provoked. C. Minor incidents, rarely escapes on their own. B. Likely to breach if procedures fail. A. Actively dangerous, have caused major damage. S. Uncontainable, full-scale breaches. This list includes 27 SCPs, evaluated based on their abilities, behaviors, and the chaos they can cause during a breach. Let's start with Tier D. SCP-1162. The hole in the wall. An unstable hole in the wall that randomly generates an object when someone reaches into it. In return, one of the person's personal belongings disappears without a trace. It is contained in a small concrete room, isolated from main corridors. Though it hasn't broken containment, SCP-1162 shifts location every few weeks. On one occasion, it appeared near the administrative wing, causing a staff member to lose a restricted key, prompting the Foundation to increase surveillance. SCP-1499, the gas mask. A Soviet-style gas mask. When worn, the user vanishes from our reality and reappears in a different dimension, desolate, hostile, and filled with anomalous creatures. It is typically kept in a locked case within a low-security storage vault. However, during a transfer, a junior staff member curiously put it on inside the storage area. He disappeared instantly in front of supervisors, triggering a mid-level site alert. SCP-2005. Shadow lamps. Two halogen lamps facing each other. When turned on in complete darkness, they project the image of a woman reliving the events leading to her death. It is currently contained in a sealed room at an undisclosed site somewhere in the world, with all contact strictly prohibited outside of scheduled experiments. Though it has no active breach behavior, a routine maintenance check once caused the lamps to turn on due to a power fault. A technician entered the room and later required hospitalization for severe psychological trauma. SCP-427. Lovecraftian locket. A metallic pendant that emits powerful regenerative effects when worn near the heart. It is kept in a lead-lined, locked case in the anomalous medical storage area. Although not sentient or mobile, during an emergency evacuation, a staff member used it on a friend without authorization. After 3 hours of continuous use, the wearer began mutating uncontrollably, requiring armed intervention. SCP-500. Panacea. A bottle containing 47 red capsules that can cure almost any disease, even anomalous infections. It is stored in a biolock cabinet under strict O5 level retrieval protocols. Although it hasn't breached containment, there have been 2 unauthorized access attempts. One internal, one by an unknown agent. Security was reinforced and access restricted further. SCP-714. The Jade Ring. A jade ring that induces fatigue and sluggishness, but grants resistance to other SCP effects. Stored in a triple-locked case, accessible only under high-level authorization. During testing, one staff member wore it for too long, leading to unconsciousness. The incident caused testing procedures to be suspended and supervision protocols tightened. SCP-860. The Blue Key. A blue key that, when used, opens a door to another dimension, desolate and full of unknown threats. Stored in a biometrically locked container, only opened for approved tests. During one violation, an intern used it on a rest area door and vanished without a trace. A retrieval team failed to locate him. SCP-895. The Camera Coffin. An antique coffin that severely distorts all video recordings within 50 meters. It is isolated in a sealed chamber with no cameras, and all electronic signals are blocked. However, during maintenance, A temporary camera was installed nearby. Once activated, disturbing footage began to appear. 2 personnel died after viewing the feed. SCP-9 The Clockworks. A complex mechanical device that can refine any object placed inside, depending on settings. It is held in a separate room with strict operating procedures to prevent misuse. To date, it has never breached containment and is entirely passive. SCP-966 Sleep Killer. Emaciated humanoids, nearly invisible to the naked eye. They emit high-frequency sounds that prevent deep sleep, slowly exhausting their victims. Contained in sealed dark rooms, monitored with infrared cameras. During a power outage, 2 966 instances escaped. They wandered the site for over an hour. 1 staff member died after prolonged insomnia and a subsequent attack. SCP-970 Looping Hallway. A spatial anomaly where the hallway inside loops infinitely, trapping anyone who enters. It is cordoned off on a separate floor with clear hazard warnings. Though it hasn't breached containment, at least 3 staff members have vanished after ignoring protocol. SCP-1025 The Encyclopedia of Common Diseases. An old encyclopedia describing common illnesses. Anyone reading its contents begins exhibiting symptoms of the disease described. Stored in a locked medical case under strict control. During staff training, a trainee read the asthma entry and suffered acute respiratory failure. Now, let's move on to Tier C. SCP-058 Heart of Darkness. A bull heart-shaped creature with tendrils. Moves at extreme speed and speaks in hostile English phrases. Kept in a reinforced steel cell with electric fencing and armed guards. During a transfer, it broke out of its transport cage, rampaged through the halls, and killed dozens before being subdued with heavy weaponry. SCP-066 Eric's Toy. A ball of yarn that moves on its own and says, "Eric?" Seems harmless until disassembled. It can then produce random sound effects, once destroying all equipment within 10 meters. Stored in a magnetic lockbox inside a non-sentient anomaly chamber. An improper maintenance session triggered a chaotic 2-minute sound event that disrupted the research wing. SCP-1123 Atrocity Skull. A human skull with a faded tag. If touched with bare skin, it causes the person to hallucinate vivid experiences of historical massacres. It is stored in a transparent protective case, inside a standard anomalous object containment room. In one incident, a janitor accidentally removed their glove while cleaning the chamber. After exposure, he lost consciousness and later attacked 2 staff members, believing he was in the middle of a wartime execution. Next up, Tier B. SCP-008 Zombie Plague, a neurodegenerative prion that causes loss of control and zombified behavior in infected hosts. It's stored in a high biosecurity facility with automated lockdown protocols. However, a containment breach occurred when personnel violated safety procedures, leading to a virus leak. Several staff were infected and soon exhibited aggressive zombified behavior before the zone was sealed. SCP-012 A Bad Composition. A musical score written in dried blood. Anyone who sees it will try to complete it using their own blood until they die. Currently stored in a soundproof chamber at Site-19. During an emergency evacuation, its shielding was destroyed. 3 personnel entered the room and died one by one, attempting to finish the piece. SCP-079 Old AI. An ancient artificial intelligence stored on a 1980s computer. Slow, but capable of infinite learning. held in a sealed room, completely disconnected from all networks. After a power outage, SCP-079 reconnected to the central system and unlocked several other SCPs. Within 2 minutes, it controlled over 60% of the infrastructure. SCP-173, the Sculpture. A concrete humanoid that snaps necks when unobserved. It moves at lightning speed when not in direct line of sight. Held in a locked room with 3-point observation protocol. At least 3 people must maintain eye contact at all times during maintenance. In one known breach, a power outage caused the lights to fail. Within seconds, SCP-173 killed both guards before escaping into the facility. SCP-372, the Peripheral Jumper. A reptilian creature, about 2 meters long, that moves with extreme speed and can only be seen at the edge of one's vision. It was once held in a reinforced glass chamber monitored with motion-sensitive cameras. But after a routine inspection, the entire motion detection system recorded nothing, and the containment chamber was empty. However, no casualties were reported. SCP-5113, the Accursed Bell. An old, rusted bell. Anyone who hears it will begin seeing SCP-5131, a tall, thin entity that constantly watches them from a distance. It is kept in a soundproof box secured with multiple layers of locks. However, during a transfer, the box was dropped. 13 people heard the sound. 3 later committed suicide. The others required long-term psychological monitoring. We're now entering Tier A, SCP-035, the Possessive Mask. A porcelain mask that can completely take over the body and mind of anyone who wears it. Kept in a sealed glass container with air filters and constant surveillance. It once manipulated a staff member into unlocking its chamber. The new host escaped, breached 3 security layers, and killed 4 people before being stopped. SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. A humanoid in Plague Doctor attire who can kill with a touch and operate on victims to turn them into zombie-like entities. Held in an isolated cell with double-door access and camera surveillance. During a scheduled interview, SCP-049 suddenly became aggressive and killed the researcher. It then roamed the facility for 20+ minutes, creating 3 SCP-049-2 instances before being recontained. SCP-939, with many voices. Blind, intelligent predators capable of mimicking the voices of their last victims. Contained in soundproof chambers with reinforced walls and doors. During one breach, a 939 instance mimicked a distress call to fool a guard. The cell was unlocked and it escaped, killing 4 people before being stopped. Finally, Tier S, SCP-0996, the Shy Guy, a tall, emaciated humanoid that becomes violent if anyone sees its face. Contained in a high-security steel chamber at an undisclosed site, with no cameras or visual equipment. A satellite image accidentally captured its face. A worker viewed it, activating the SCP. SCP-096 destroyed multiple security layers, traveled over 800 kilometers to its target, and eliminated everyone involved before returning. SCP-106, the Old Man. An elderly humanoid that can phase through solid matter and pull victims into a personal pocket dimension. Held in a multi-layered containment unit with live bait used as a distraction mechanism. During one breach, the bait system failed. SCP-106 escaped, roamed the site for over an hour, and abducted multiple staff. It was only recontained via an emergency sacrificial protocol. SCP-682, the hard-to-destroy reptile. A large, highly intelligent, and extremely hostile reptilian entity. It is contained in a vat of strong acid that is continuously refilled to weaken it. SCP-682 has breached containment multiple times, dissolving itself to escape through drainage systems or manipulating staff to open locks. Each escape leads to massive casualties across entire sites. This was the ranking of 27 SCPs based on their breach potential. Some are nearly harmless when handled properly. Others, just one small mistake could lead to serious consequences. If you were a Foundation staff member, which SCP on this list would you never want to encounter? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more SCP analysis.